I told my girlfriend's mum to make herself useful and instantly regretted everything. You ever say something so casually, so reflexively, that you don't even realize it's wrong until the room goes quiet? That was me. This morning, I was knee-deep in reorganizing the house with my girlfriend when her mum stopped by. What started as a casual pop-in turned into what will now be known as the shoe rack incident. Otherwise remembered as the exact moment I realized I've probably been unintentionally insulting people for years. Because when her mum offered to help, generously, sincerely, I told her, yeah, if you want to make yourself useful, you can pull all the shoes out from the rack. Harmless, right? Wrong. The silence that followed hit like a freight train. She froze. I froze. Somewhere in the universe, my social skills disintegrated into cosmic dust. Turns out, telling someone to make yourself useful isn't just casually suggestive. It's rude. Like deeply rude. And the worst part? I've been saying it my whole life. To friends, co-workers, maybe even strangers. No one ever corrected me, not once, until today. Today, I learned that inherited idioms can carry more weight than you realize. And sometimes, being raised right comes with blind spots. Let's rewind. My girlfriend and I have been in nesting mode for weeks. You know the drill. That chaotic but satisfying urge to reorganize every drawer, purge every closet, and finally fix the junk drawer that's been an archaeological dig for 6 months. Saturday morning. Sun shining through the windows, coffee in hand, music playing. It was one of those domestic bliss kind of vibes. We had piles of shoes, random Tupperware lids, extension cords with no known function. It was one of those everything's a mess before it gets better kind of mornings. Enter her mum. She swung by unannounced, which is something I've learned she does a lot. And honestly, I've grown to appreciate it. She's kind, funny, and always brings something with her. Fruit, pastries, once even a small potted plant just because. This time, she walked in carrying a half-dozen bagels and a huge smile. We chatted in the kitchen for a while, laughing about how the hallway looked like a thrift store exploded. Then she said it. Well, if you two need an extra hand, I've got time. I'm free for the day. Now, in my head, this was my moment to delegate a task that I honestly didn't want to do myself. The shoe rack had become a Bermuda Triangle of unmatched sneakers, winter boots, and one lonely flip-flop. So I said, without thinking, yeah, if you want to make yourself useful, you can pull all the shoes out from the rack. Instant silence. She stopped mid-step, turned toward me, and stared. Not angrily, just surprised, confused. Like I had suddenly started speaking a dialect she didn't recognize. My girlfriend turned slowly to look at me, eyes wide. You know the look, the "what did you just say to my mother" look. I looked around, trying to figure out what went wrong. Did I say it too loud? Was she allergic to shoes? Then her mum tilted her head slightly and asked, carefully, "How often do you tell people to make themselves useful?" I blinked. "A lot," I offered, now panicking slightly. She smiled, but it wasn't the "ha-ha, this is fine" kind of smile. It was the "oh honey, bless your heart" kind. She said, "I don't think you realize that's kind of a rude thing to say." I froze. Wait, seriously? She nodded. That's when the realization started to hit, like a slow domino line collapsing inside my head. You know that scene in every time travel movie where the main character suddenly remembers all the timelines they've messed up? Yeah, that was my brain. I started replaying every interaction I could remember where I had told someone to make themselves useful. My old co-worker at the office, that neighbor who offered to help me move a couch, a friend at a BBQ who offered to help set up. I'd said it casually, always with a smile, always with good intentions. I thought it was quirky. Turns out it was kind of insulting. To me, it was just something my dad always said. He's a blue-collar guy raised in the rural South, where idioms flow like sweet tea and no one blinks at a good-natured jab. I grew up with that phrase baked into my vocabulary. Go make yourself useful and grab the hose. Make yourself useful and bring me that wrench. It was normal. I didn't even know there was anything wrong with it. And now, standing there in my kitchen, looking at my girlfriend's mom, a woman who had just offered her time, her energy, her help, I realized I'd basically said, hey, don't just stand there being useless, do something productive. My face turned crimson. I stammered an apology. I must have said, I'm so sorry, like 4 different ways in under 10 seconds. To her credit, she laughed. I know you didn't mean anything by it. It just caught me off guard. We all laughed. She teased me a little. The moment passed, but internally I was unraveling. After she left, with a thank you bagel and 0 hard feelings, I sat down and really thought about it. Language is weird like that. We inherit so much from our upbringing without ever examining it. Idioms, expressions, even jokes. Sometimes they're harmless. Sometimes they're time bombs waiting to explode in the wrong context. I kept thinking, how many people have I unknowingly offended? It's not like anyone ever pulled me aside and said, hey man, that's kinda rude. People just smile politely and file it away under jerk behavior. And then you're left wondering why they stop offering to help or return your texts. But here's the beautiful part. I learned because someone told me, kindly, directly, without shaming me. It made me realize how important it is to stay open to feedback, to not get defensive when someone tells you a phrase you thought was charming might actually come across as a dig. It also made me think about how I'll raise my kids someday, how I'll be more mindful of what I pass down, what habits I normalize, and what values I model through the words I use. So yeah, I told my girlfriend's mum to make herself useful, and spent the rest of the day spiraling into a quiet existential crisis. But in the end, I'm grateful. I got a lesson in humility. I got a reminder to be mindful. And I got a laugh out of it, eventually. And now, whenever someone offers to help, I'll just say what I meant to say in the first place. Thank you. That'd be awesome. Because the truth is, people aren't here to be useful. They're here to be appreciated. And I'd rather be remembered for that. Do you like stories like this? Click here to watch more.